Hey, are you concerned about protecting that brand new pretty sled that you just got? Here's the solution. Use SledSend 24 for a 15% off discount code on some backwoods bumpers, the industry leader in performance protection.
SledSend listeners, welcome back for another episode. We are still back here at Heyday, so please do not mind some of the background noise. There's a lot of people, a lot of noise going on, side-by-sides rolling by.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, and as always, be sure to check out some of the links in the description. We've got a ton of companies on board with us this year that are providing a bunch of discounts for you guys, so be sure to check that out. And without further ado, let's jump right into the show. We've got Kobe with us, returning co-host.
Yes, sir.
He's been on
Pleasure
all these
to see you
episodes
guys
so far this season.
I got to get them now because I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, should I skip one? And I'm like, I have to skip a lot, so I better get something like
Oh, yeah. And then our guest for today is Bobby, the owner of FireNIce Performance. So what's up, Bobby? Welcome on, dude.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me here.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out and sending us a DM and scheduling a time to jump on here. Glad we got you on.
It's exciting what you guys are doing.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's filling a void, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We appreciate that a ton. Yeah. So, Bobby, where do you live? Where are you located?
Idaho Falls, Idaho.
Ooh, nice.
Not too far from us.
No.
Not too far.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. How far is that?
Don't ask me. I ain't the geography
Well,
guy.
you're making it sound like you knew.
Well, I just know we ain't that far, but don't put me on the spot like that. God, I hate it when he does it.
So
we couldn't go ride in the same spot together. It's farther than that. But
so Bobby, talk a little bit about your exposure into the sledding industry, like as far as like riding and stuff. How were you exposed to it from the beginning?
Oh man, there's a VHS video out there somewhere. My dad surprising us with kitty cats for Christmas. You know?
Yeah?
I mean, Santa Claus, and oh man, those were on our back porch, and I'm just losing it.
Yeah.
I bet. So that was the big deal. My family's from Western Pennsylvania, so not really a snowmobiling mecca.
Yeah.
And when we moved out here years ago, my dad wanted to be like a Westerner as much as possible. He had to buy a truck and a camper, four-wheelers.
Gotta fit in.
All that stuff. Start fly fishing. You don't catch anything, but as long as you're doing it.
Hey, it's all for the Facebook, right?
This is before we didn't even have
MySpace.
We didn't even have an internet connection at that point. Like I remember getting that a couple years after.
The scrapbook.
Yeah, but I don't know. Snowmobiling just stuck with us.
Okay.
My brother and I. That's just something we did as a family, and we still do it to this day. Good times.
Nice. So, what does it evolve to? What are you riding now?
I've got a 9R Matrix.
Nice.
Heck yeah. What do you think of it?
Now it's great.
Okay.
What do you mean now?
Go in on that.
Out of the box, I think the clutch and calibration was like garbage.
Gotcha.
So, and I think that's
what'd you change?
I think that's what the recall coming out.
What'd you change?
We'll see if my prediction is correct.
Yeah.
Is going to be
is
the spider.
Okay.
But we'll see how that works out.
Fair enough.
But you got it fixed now though, so.
Yeah, the stock primary spring's just too long. Coil binds, rattles all around, hits the spider. If you go look at your spiders, you can see where it's hitting.
Yeah.
So that's inefficiency.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sure.
But I think Speedworks, Spikeman, they have some shorter springs with the same rates, and makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Everyone should look into that. It's like $25.
Look into it, he says.
And 10 minutes of your time to switch that spring out. Like I think everyone would be really happy with that. Like you don't have to go buy the whole clutch kit or nothing like that. Just get the spring.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, that's good to know.
I was gonna say I haven't heard about that yet. I got a buddy that's got one. I don't know. He's an animal on a sled, so he just terrorizes it anyways.
Yeah, and I think that P22 clutch has more tolerance in it than like the P85 clutch. So I think from sled to sled, it performed more differently than in the past.
Sure.
So mine was probably at one end.
Yep.
And probably a lot more people are more in the middle, and maybe it didn't really affect it so much.
Mm-hmm. Sure. What were you on before the 9R?
Oh, I had an 18 axis that I kind of I just kept changing. this was a different time because I bought a holdover sled, you know.
Okay.
I call up Carl Cycle. I'm like, what's the cheapest 155 you can get me?
Yeah.
You know, so because I'm going to turn it into a Chaos.
Yeah, that's an easy way in.
You know, changed out the A-arms, everything, because this was 39-inch A-arms. But, you know, now you got to snow check everything.
Oh, yeah.
So.
No joke.
So let's talk a little bit about FireNIce. So how kind of did that, how did your involvement with that get started? We talk about the origins of.
That's been a long process.
Sure.
In 2005, when I was in high school, they started the company.
Okay.
And they have this fundraiser every year in Idaho Falls to support the Greenbelt.
Okay.
And they used to have guys ride around the island on the river on snowmobiles. And FireNIce had like a demo sled there. And I just started talking to them, find out about them. And this was in the 900 Polaris days, you know?
Yeah. The peak of Polaris is what you're saying?
Yeah. That's where it peaked for sure. So we had 2 of those pieces of crap. And so, you know, they were making all sorts of products for that. And I was in high school and just excited about the sport of snowmobiling. And I just kept bugging the owner at the time, Paul Hurley, until he, you know, let me come work for him a little bit. I worked for him on the side for years and years, and just stayed in touch with him. He was a good friend. And then 2 years ago, he passed away.
Okay.
And his family approached me about taking over the business, keeping it going, which was really exciting to me.
Sure.
It was something I had a connection to personally. Yeah. And then at that point, I wasn't in the snowmobile industry at all anymore.
Okay.
Because I'd been working for Zollinger Racing Products.
Okay.
And so I hadn't been working them for a couple years. You know, was not involved with snowmobiles.
Sure.
From a career perspective, I was still riding all the time, you know. So it was a nice way to get back in. And, you know, it's just something at this point. Paul's goal every year was just to pay for his snowmobile. Yeah. You know, not go into debt snowmobiling.
That's
and
a good plan.
I've carried over that very simple goal. Because snowmobiling is expensive, and I don't want it to impact my family at all, you know. We've got a 9-year-old daughter now.
Okay.
You know, it's like, should I buy a sled or put money in her college fund, you know? And like, you know, it's obviously going in her college fund now. So FireNIce just lets me be involved. And, you know, that's the best part about it, because I don't have to feed my family through it.
Sure.
And that's very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a fickle industry. You know, some years it's great, some years it's bad. But yeah, I've got some other experiences we could talk about too.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, what's up, guys? I want to take a quick second to introduce another one of this year's sponsors. We have RSI. So the handlebar setup on your sled is arguably probably one of the most important components on your whole setup. So definitely check out their site. They've got a ton of different products, and use SledSend 24 at checkout for a discount.
Okay.
Keep rolling. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, I don't know, I never heard anybody talking about it when I was going through school, was like, how the heck do you get a job in the snowmobile industry?
Yeah.
You know? You can make one, try and make a company or something. Yeah. I think that's an uphill battle, but there's some guys doing it right now. Mm-hmm. One of them was on here, Frank, Carbon Pursuit.
Yep.
Man, that guy's awesome.
Yep. He said the same thing about you.
Oh, that's great to hear. I just met him today. We've been chatting for like, I don't know, like at least a year or something, you know, online.
Yep.
Yeah, he's really smart. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Seen your guys' little podium over there at his booth.
Yeah, some of your products over there.
Yeah, he was super nice to me and displayed some of my stuff. So I didn't have to have a booth out here, because this is a long way from Idaho.
Oh, yes, it
is. You know, even
yep.
flying out here, it takes a minute.
Yeah, we came from Oregon, so we know.
Yeah.
Dude, that fly.
Yeah, he's liking you.
He's getting me.
Yeah. I mean, so back at this point, the Snow West forums was like that was where I learned so much stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
Sure.
I don't really know where it's at anymore. I just go on Instagram.
Snow West has still got a lot.
Yeah, I think it's still going, but that was the place, and I learned so much just reading on there. But now, you know, everybody's got YouTube videos and stuff, and there's so much opportunity to learn. But going through college, I was getting an engineering degree. Had no idea what I was going to do with it.
Yeah.
And then I happened to land a job with Polaris out of school.
Oh, nice.
6 hours north of here in Roseau.
Okay, yep.
You know, there's 3,000 people in the town. Polaris employs about 3,000 people at their facility there.
Yeah.
There's more people in the surrounding area, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was my first real, like, whoa, what's going on? And, you know, when I show up, this was going from the Pro to the Axis. So the Axis hadn't come out yet. So that was exciting to see.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Before everybody else.
Yep.
I don't really have any claims to fame from my couple of years up there, other than I designed the mountain bar.
Okay. Okay.
That was the only mountain thing I got to do.
Yeah.
I designed almost everything on like a wide track snowmobile that was supposed to be a big seller in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it ever worked out.
Oh,
but
that's interesting.
Yeah, I know they put it out, but it was a 550 fan mode.
Yeah.
But that was great because I got to work on everything.
Yeah.
You know, because on the RMK there's so much. It's so serious, you know.
Yeah.
They can't throw a junior engineer on anything with that sled because if you mess up, boy, there's so much quantity. But on a utility sled for Russia, they're just like, have at it, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I got involved with like their skunk works department, you know, trying to develop technology and chassis outside of the original stuff. Like that's where like the one-seater Razor came from, like the Ace.
Yep.
And then like
Gotcha.
the slingshot motorcycle that they have,
Yeah.
you know, that came out of that program. And,
Sure.
you know, the sled I worked on for that has never come out. So,
Copy that.
Interesting.
yeah. So, I mean, that'd be my question for you guys is where do you think snowmobiles are going to go? What could be improved on them?
That's like the one of the best but worst questions ever because
I know.
I have no clue. I don't know.
Well, it's
That's such a tough one.
And you know what?
Like, because the toughest question is, it's like, how far out are you asking, I guess? Because, I mean, if we're talking like 40 or 50 years from now, I don't think that, I don't know. Like, that's going to be too unbelievable. If you ask 10 years from now, I would say it's just going to go to, everything's going to be really expensive. Everything, basically, if you look at it, everything that the dealerships, what they're doing today is what riders do to their sleds like the year or two before.
Yep.
Look at all the tunnel cuts, look at all the turbos, look at all the, you know, the track, you know, components, this, that, the aftermarket, that. I think after a while, they're just going to either partner up with you know, all the sled companies are going to partner up with the smaller guys and either offer those options or already put them on the sleds and sell it from the market. They're going to be titanium, carbon fiber sleds, light as a feather, and they're going to probably find some new crack-in way with an engine method, you know, that works, and it can be super lightweight, and I don't know. For that aspect, I'd say that, but I don't know how else you're going to change it. What do you think? You're the engineer.
Well, I think the whole thing is too big. The whole sled's too big. I think that's what snow bikes were trying to tell all the manufacturers. This is what I said when I was there too.
Yeah.
It's like I think snow bikes. Sure, there's people that only ride motorcycles that want that feeling on the snow, but that's what they're telling you is the snowmobile is too big.
Yeah.
You know, and you've heard Brandt talk about that in older interviews too, that he wants like a 3/4 sled. You know, and they've never given it to him. Well, actually, Arctic Cat did in 2003.
Yeah.
But that was before it was like stand up. It was still like trailing arm and stuff. They had a 13.5-inch sled instead of a 15-inch wide.
Yeah.
And they were really on to something.
What do you think about? Where do you think they're going?
I'm avoiding that question. That's too much of a beast to try to
Well, you
tackle.
could just do like the 10-year one, then don't do the ultimate.
Well, I mean, the other
I
obvious thing
really
is
don't
that in 10 years, everything's going to be electric.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited for an electric snowmobile.
Are you?
I'm super stoked on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
think
electric motors.
I think it'd
Okay.
rip, but
Yeah.
man, I don't know.
Well, I mean, for mountain guys, I mean, our best days is if we can keep the ride under 30 miles and, like, we can't hang on anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
You don't get very far from the truck. The snow's deep. Like, that's an ideal situation. And it's like, for me, that's like, electric would be like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, if you can give me a 100-mile range on an electric vehicle, electric snowmobile. That'd be plenty.
Yeah, but then like, is there no like turbo boost and stuff, and no woo-choo-choo-choo?
I mean,
I'm about to get a turbo playing just in my earphones just to hear it when I have the electric sled, so it'll just whop.
They could do it in like they do on cars and just make the exhaust noise through the speakers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just have it in my ears. I think it would be a very, very powerful sled.
It could be.
Because that electric power is like...
be. Exactly.
Or at least the cars are. I don't know. How about the smaller? I don't know about the smaller engines. I've seen dirt bikes and stuff that are electric, and they do pretty good, but they can't keep them going for long enough because the battery is so small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be more than 10 years. We'll see. But
never really talked about. That's a really good question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I always like to get people's perspective on that.
Yeah.
Most people don't really think about it. They just see what Chris Brandt's doing and say it's that. You know.
I don't know if electric's gonna make its way into it. And one of the reasons why too is I'm sure if you cut all gas motors off, then yes, people would go to that. But like you look at a majority of, and I'm not like calling nobody or anybody out, but you look at the majority of snowmobilers, and I feel like they're like sled heads, they're motor heads. They like the pistons, they like the bang bang, they like the fumes, they like the oil, they like the mechanicking.
Yeah, that's hard to walk away
from. That's part of the snowmobiling is being able to work on your own sled, because they're relatively easy to work on, truthfully.
Well, not a Skidoo, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, you can make your argument on that. But, I you know what I mean? I just don't know how the industry would react if somebody was to, I think you're going to get a lot of the... Man. I mean, you're going to get a lot of the open guys. You're going to get a lot of the... Then you're going to get I know you'd get a lot of people that would jump ship. So many guys would jump on board with that, but...
I mean,
I just think you're going to get a lot of these guys that have been doing it for years and years and years that love the old, engines and the crankshafts and the pistons and shit. Yeah. And they're, I don't know what they'd say.
Maybe it's more than 10 years, you're right. But maybe, who knows?
I think
nobody uses a carburetor anymore.
I think it's gonna change.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the evolutions that have happened in the last, couple decades.
Well, yeah, look at how quickly we've gone from just a vertical escape to a chaos axis boost.
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't that crazy?
That's quick evolution.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tyler with SledSend. Wanted to take a second of your guys' time and ask for your guys' support for what we're doing with the brand of SledSend. So if you guys are enjoying, the podcast episodes with all the different guests, the tour videos and such, check out SledSend.com. We have a variety of different merch. Every order comes with air fresheners and stickers. And like I said, we appreciate your guys' support. We need it to continue to do this. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
Yeah. Even from a 900 to what the sleds are now.
Yeah, it's been fast.
The 900 then versus the 9R now. Look at the two 900 sled evolutions. It's kind of cool.
And it's crazy, too, is that snowmobiles have only gotten heavier over the last 7-8 years. They haven't gotten lighter. They totally nixed that trend. Mm-hmm. They're not even talking about it anymore. Yeah. Because that Matrix is probably...
It did get heavier.
It's probably 30, 40 pounds heavier than an Axis was when it first came out with the 800 motor. Not the 850, but the 800. Yeah.
Yeah, with the I think that turbo on there, it's really doing some shame to it.
Yeah, the turbo doesn't care how heavy it is. Yeah.
Have you rode one? A boost?
Not. I actually have not ridden a factory turbo.
No, they're heavy. They are heavy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure they're a blast, but it just it doesn't fit our terrain or my riding style. So,
sure.
I don't even max out. I mean, let's be real. I don't max out the 900. I just got it because it was cool.
It fits. It fits my terrain when I'm in that moment, and all you need is a bunch of power, and it gives it to you.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about FireNIce and the business and some of the products. What all do you guys offer?
Yeah, we just try to make parts that actually bring value to the customer, actually do something. So we're either trying to cool things down, get more air in, get more air out. One of those three things there. So we've been real successful, mostly for Polaris stuff. Skidoo is a hard market to crack.
Okay.
I'm not touching Cat until they show me a reason to, right?
They just came out with their new engine over there.
Yeah, if enough people buy it, we'll see.
858.
Yeah, that's exciting. But
if you're a cat guy, I guess.
Yeah, it's like 10 years too late for them.
I know they're a little late to the program.
Yeah.
Well, they were the first company to file the patents on a production turbo by like 3 years, and they still haven't put out a turbo.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Well, I mean, there's funny stuff like that too, because one of my roommates, when I worked for Polaris, he made it was really crude. It wasn't as refined, but he made basically a shot for Polaris, and the IP department didn't think it was worth pursuing.
Really?
Yeah, and then Skidoo has it, and like that's a total reason to buy a Skidoo.
Oh man,
is the shot.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I got electric start on my sled this year, but that system was designed like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing changed about it.
Yeah.
It works gears grinding.
Too. It works good.
Yeah. But yeah, FireNIce is fun. I design everything myself. We get it all manufactured in Idaho Falls for the most part.
Okay, nice.
Put it all together ourselves, ship it. Yeah.
Nice. So what's kind of like on the horizon for you guys? Some new and up and coming things, or where's it gonna go next couple of years? That you can disclose?
Well, see, I mean, that's the discussion I was having with you guys, is like where the sled's gonna go, because that's such a big factor. Because as soon as problems identified, if they react quickly and fix it, then your product is done from an aftermarket perspective.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where it's gonna go. I don't really plan that far ahead because I'm small, so I can react fast.
Sure.
You know.
Yep.
Something that I might get done in a month would take starting line a year or two or something.
Yeah.
Just because it's a different structure of a business.
Is there a certain type of products that you're like shooting for on a sled, I guess, or?
Well, yeah, like I was saying, it's like good value. So like the Polaris air intake on the Matrix is like subpar for sure. Those sleds definitely have bogging issues, which is not entirely tied to the intakes. It could be all sorts of factors. It could be exhaust, it could be electronics, could be air intake. I think all three of those are kind of hurting you on the Matrix, and they didn't really give us any avenue to like improve any of those very easily.
Sure.
But getting air in is one of those factors, and we can work on that.
Yep.
And that's been my focus last winter going into this year.
I think I seen the little air intake thing there at his
Frank's got some on his.
He does. They're on Brant's sled over in the Fox booth.
Yeah, look pretty good.
So I sent him some of those last winter, and he was happy with them. So he's going to move forward with selling those, because that's where Brant does it better than everybody else. Is like he just doesn't want stuff for free.
Yeah.
He wants to make money on the back end by selling it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's like, I need to be able to endorse this product to sell it.
Yep.
But then he's going to go sell it, So that's like, he gets it for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's a businessman that rides snowmobiles.
Yep. And that's what you need. Type of guys you want to work with, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else just like asks for free stuff. Like I don't know if you guys have covered that on your show ever.
No,
it was like dealing with oh my gosh, like and I'm not making fun of them, but I got an email this morning. It's just like, hey, I really like snowmobiles and want to be a part of the team. You know, and it's like, well, yeah, but what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
What's
There's
your ROI going to be?
Understand that asking for a discount, or obviously free stuff, but even asking for a discount, you're literally cutting into the profit of the company that's owned by another person that has a family, has kids, has whatever, right? And so like, I've brought this up several times on the podcast of like how we go about that stuff is some kind of mutual value exchange.
Absolutely.
Like what can we do that is equivalent of what you're giving us, but then we also like to take it a step further and kind of under promise, over deliver.
Absolutely.
And so like, regardless of what our contractual terms are, like, okay, yeah, we're set on this, all right, but like, what can we do outside of that to go above and beyond? And that's a couple things, right? Do more than any of the other ambassadors or sponsors are to set ourselves apart from them, but then also just over deliver more, playing the long-term relationship with the companies that we actually truly really believe in and want to grow with.
Yeah, I mean, like say that same person emailed me and was like, hey, I've only have 300 followers. Doesn't really matter. But if you give me half off a clutch cover, I'll make a video detailing how to install it, all the benefits of it. I'll post it to YouTube. I'll send it to you for you to use, because then you don't have to make a video.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
You guys can't do that one now. I just gave it away. You gotta think of something else.
You're like, oh yeah.
But take the concept of that. You know, like I'm gonna do something for you you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like the worst thing you could do is like give something for free to Keith Curtis.
Yeah.
For example, because you'll never hear it. Like he has too much noise.
Yeah.
You know, even if it helps him out, like it's not going to help him out as much as Polaris helps him out.
Yeah. Sure.
You know,
Sure, 100%.
So I actually try to just work with smaller guys that aren't really, they're not getting stuff for free.
Yeah.
You know, it works a way better ROI for me. Because if I give somebody something for free, like they have to sell at least 2 of those before I even break even, and like that was so much effort on my part.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You didn't
to break even.
You didn't have to go out of your way, and you did.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
No,
So-
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. I do want to say though, time goes by fast.
It does, yeah.
Ripping these, so I want to respect everybody's schedules and stuff.
sure.
So, for everybody listening, we'll put links to all your stuff in the description. But give us a shout out of where everybody can find you.
Yeah, the main spot's on Instagram.
Okay.
If you're on Facebook or TikTok, it's just getting reposted. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not that fancy with it.
Okay.
You know,
Perfect.
just Instagram, FireNIce Performance,
Yep.
FireNIce.us. Not the best web URL, but they picked it almost 20 years ago,
sure,
so I'm sticking with it. It shows
Sure.
up good on search.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Cool.
all right.
So, well, we got 2 last things
Okay.
for you. The first thing is going to be if you would do the honor of, you probably see it here, signing our banner for us
for
with
sure.
your name, and then just write Fire and Ice below it or whatever you want to do. Wherever you want, we can move it to wherever you want. And then the last thing is, have you listened to any of the podcasts?
yeah, I listened to a few.
Okay,
yeah.
so you might know what's coming then. So at the end of every episode, we have a question, right? So that you want to ask the listeners and viewers. It can be something about air ventilation. It can be something more broad. It can be whatever you want. And then we clip it and put it on social for some media.
And this is for them to answer, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they'll comment on TikTok, Instagram.
Thumb warriors.
Their answers of what they think.
Oh, man, I'm just going to go with the one. I'm going to regurgitate the one that stumped you guys of like,
Good one.
There you
know,
go.
hey, where do you see snowmobiles going? What could be better about them? Let's stick it in the next 5 to 10 years. You know, what's going to change about them? What's the problem right now? Be imaginative, you know?
Yep.
Everything could change.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really, really good question. Regardless of what platform you guys are on, please comment and let us know. Give us some feedback. That'd be really interesting because that's tough for me to speak to. But yeah, we want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. So, well, awesome. We'll go ahead and wrap this episode up. Bobby, thank you so much for reaching out and jumping on. Appreciate you sharing
Heck yeah.
a little bit about your story and what you do. And yeah, it's good to meet you in person.
Yeah, this was really great, guys. I appreciate it so much.
Pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely. Cool.
Get a
Awesome.
signature from you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, SledSend listeners, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.